Hi everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for taking time to have this session this afternoon. And would love to share to you our decade-long experience or journey as a freelancer to becoming an entrepreneur. Are you guys with us?
Yeah, so
All right.
in this session, let's just like a storytelling. So it's really about sharing our walk from being a solo freelancers before up until we navigated and transitioned into starting up a small agency up until an entrepreneur with our co-working space.
All right. So before anything else, I would love to ask everyone here, have you been in a situation wherein you need to decide to take a leap and believe that your parachute will open? You can take it like in a picture out yourself, like you paid to scare yourself to jump on cliff diving or skydiving, but you have the option to jump or not. But then anyway, we can see that from these options, it's up to us to take the challenge and to have the opportunity to jump. Because as for us, in the last 10 years of our life, we've never stopped jumping. We've never stopped trying something new. Like I remember looking back, just to look back what I experienced. In 2017, I started to work on a corporate company in Makati. Just like anybody else, I'm a graphic designer by the time. I struggled the same struggle of 4 hours travel time back and forth to the office. And I also experienced like paycheck to paycheck, living the same, circling the same cycle of life for the last 5 years of my experience being an employee. But of course, one day I asked myself, am I getting enough? Do I have savings? Do I have investments? And I was surprised that I'm turning 30. And the answer is loud and clear to me. I've got nothing. Though by the time we are married, we have a mortgage house to pay. But there's inside me that keep on asking, I can do so much more than this. So that's the turning point of my life where I decided the most terrible decision in my life to quit my 9 to 6 paying full-time job just to end up having a 24 hours headache of having a business. I hope you guys can relate. But this is something that is very unforgettable to me since I'm not a born businessman and I'm not expert in this field. But then I decided to took a leap of faith to try something new. And so I prayed to God, Lord, give me guidance. This is something new to me. And then I give myself 1 month to have a replacement job. So I optimized my profile, my portfolio, my resume, sent some applications to different job posting sites. And luckily and thankfully, after 2 weeks of looking for a job, I was able to land on my first client on Upwork. Are you guys familiar with Upwork?
Anyone from Upwork here?
Oh, you guys. So that's not the end of the story. It's just the beginning of the story, actually. So one has to experience negative feedback. It's not stable, negative opinions, sometimes to the closest to yours or your family. I remember someone told me, you've just finished your 4 years course just to end up doing something you're not so sure. So how's this sound to you? For me, it's really offending. But for some reasons, there's peace inside me that keeps on saying, I must keep going. You're on the right direction. And then, at the end of the day, some will believe, some won't. So what? Right?
Yeah. So during that time that he transitioned into becoming a freelancer, I was working as a marketing coordinator with San Miguel. Been working with them since my OJT days up until my 10 years of working with them as a marketing coordinator. I was leading a team, we were driving sales, we're doing a lot of marketing campaigns. It was indeed a rewarding experience for me. But when we had our daughter, everything changed. I knew deep in my heart that I needed to shift and focus also on motherhood. But of course, I still want to earn. I still want to do my passion, which is marketing. And just like what he did, I actually put a lot of confidence and get a lot of confidence from what he did. So what I did is that I tried to optimize my profile, did some optimizations in Upwork, in Seek.com, in JobStreet, and a lot more, praying to God that I'll be able to land in a work from home setting so that I could still attend to my baby, which is a newborn during that time. And thank you, Lord, that I was able to land and get offered by a job, a remote marketing coordinator work from a holistic company based in Hong Kong. So that experience, that transition is definitely not easy coming from a very stable job and you transition into something not stable, something new to you, something unknown. That's really not easy. But I know deep in my heart that motherhood outweighs more than all these fears. And I know that God has a bigger plans for the both of us. And so that journey continues. That work, marketing work in Balance Health in Hong Kong actually opened up a lot of doors for us. We knew a lot of like PRs in the media section, and that opened a lot of doors, giving a lot of projects into website designing. So that particular move, that particular jump, which is scary, led into something very fruitful for the both of us.
Yeah, it's okay to be scared sometimes since we are not used to the conventional way of remote work by the time. And we've been in a freelancing kind of work for a long time. And right now, if I may quote to Dr. Miles Monroe says, he defined how potential looks like. Potential is a reserved power, unused success, and everything that you could do but have not done yet. So potential equates to opportunity, and that's where hope, that's where faith comes in. And that's our turning point in our life, that if I keep doing the same thing over and over again for the next 10 years of my life, I don't see any chances that I will end up or I can achieve those dreams in my mind. So to cut the long story short, yeah, I took a leap of faith without any backup plans. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, it happened.
Yeah, and as for me, when I was in the transition period, it's like the feeling is like jumping out of an airplane and asking yourself, what if my parachute doesn't open
Yeah.
at all? But, you know, guys, fear is natural. It's a natural response of a person, especially if we are coming in the place of like being a stickler, like sticking to something for a very long time, even though we are thinking about more, and we know that deep in our hearts is that we know that we have potential to grow. Courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, right? But in spite of being scared, of being fearful, we keep on pressing on to be able to see who we really are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so guys, before we proceed to the next slide, I would just like to ask you, where do you think is the most wealthiest place on earth? At first, we may think maybe that's the great banks in South America, maybe the great fuels in Iraq and Iran. But actually, it's just a walk away from us in the neighborhood, which is the cemetery. You know why, guys? Because this is where the dreams that were never discovered, cures that were never spoken, maybe songs that has never been written, only because they were too scared to try. So this concept really highlights encouragement in our lives, that if you allow fear to cripple in, you'll be paralyzed forever. And then, just like what Einstein mentioned, right? Insanity is doing the same
Same
thing
thing.
and expecting
Different result.
different result.
Yeah, and years had passed, months after months, years after years, doing the same thing. We've been together doing the freelancing. We have Zoe in our life, our baby. And then we see the opportunity to grow and elevate our value to provide more services, line of services to our clients. So I took some courses, certifications, watched some YouTube tutorials, and I've heard that in the next 5 years, most of the contents in social media would be video content. So I decided to, why not? I can also explore video editing, and that's the time I navigate WordPress, create some basic website design for my client, and that's the time I added it to my line of services to my client in Upwork. And also part of it is we've learned how to utilize and maximize the power of white labeling. Do you guys have heard of white labeling? So white labeling, we have some partners in Hong Kong, in US. They send up, they outsource some of their projects to us, and then we appear like a legwork marketing to them. So that's where the bunch or the big amount of our clients comes in. Like we have in Hong Kong, they have this wellness shop, and they provide services in aesthetic clinic. So we handle most of their website optimizations, marketing materials on a monthly basis, and we also have automotive client in Texas, wherein I do most of their video contents for their social media, video reels, and these are the beginning. This is the beginning of where we get most of our clients.
Yes, and coming from a place of learning marketing for the last 10 years before I transitioned, I already have the basic foundation of the marketing. But of course, one barrier that we want to break is competition. In freelancing, there's a lot of people better than you for sure. So you really need to keep to date with a lot of trends, with a lot of the things in order to harness your skills. Never stop, and continuous learning is really a key. So I tried to took a lot of courses in Udemy, Domestika, Art of Storytelling, and a lot more, and YouTube Academy as well, in order to really hone my skills in terms of marketing. And just like what Michael mentioned, as the business grew, actually it started like more of like just taking task as a white label, and then we formalize it as a startup agency, and that's where we saw the opportunity to also help other people and leverage their skills and focus on our master strength or our core strength, which is our natural gift of client acquisition and connecting with people. And for other matters like copywriting, like graphic designing, all the stuffs that we will be needing for social media marketing, for email campaign, SEO, that's where we leverage other skills. So we are trying to onboard more people with us to help us in order to start this agency during that time.
Yeah, we feel the need to have, we need some help from someone. So Monica and I decided to hire someone. Like we develop website, but I'm not an IT graduate, so most of the coding part will be on my Pakistani web developer. So I hire someone from Pakistan. He does most of the coding. I focus mainly on the design and the overall aesthetic of the website. And she also gets someone from Cebu, from Davao.
Yes, we have some team in
Yeah.
Davao, in Cebu, in
We also have graphic
Iloilo,
artists from Jakarta.
in Indonesia.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Indonesia.
it's starting to be really globally and remotely. And you know, as freelancers, especially maybe because of pandemic, some of us develop a certain kind of introspection wherein it's hard for us to let go, especially thinking about the quality of work that they may deliver. It may not be as at par of what we do, but I think this is a truth actually. This is a fact that in order for us to grow, we need to let go.
Yes.
Some of the things that we need not to micromanage, we can delegate and trust other people for as long as we guide them with the same values and we guide them with the set of processes.
And another barrier, of course, here is delegation. Since we've been working as a freelancer for a very long time, we're not used to pay someone full-time, part-time, or project-based. And it's very ironic to see yourself, you hired someone, but you see yourself doing the nitty-gritty things, the groundwork, like updating of plugins, designing a web banner for a client. So that's how we look on our first phase, being an agency. And it's really I can admit that we've endured that kind of barrier for a long time. And it takes some time for us to conquer that kind of barrier. And right now, I can see like the clients keep coming in the pipeline, more projects comes in. So that's the time we've launched Intricate Ideas, our agency. It's a digital agency. Most of our team members are remote workers from different parts of the world. But then we've also planned to have our physical office at the same time. But then, of course, budget is one thing. As much as we want to earn is a different thing of as much as how you can do it, how you can deliver it. So part of the scalability, we miss out the very important task or very vital thing in our agency, which is systems and processes. We are very much focused on the client acquisition that we tend to forget the internal systems. So Monica and I sat together again, planned ahead, what are the things that we can automate, what are the optimizations on our internal system that we can improve. Like for example, if there's a new client, we have this discovery call with them, and that's the time we hand over the questionnaire so that we don't miss out the small details of the project brief. And then afterwards, we hand over the proposal to them. And along with that is we utilize the communication tools, the project management tools, so we can track or we can monitor the work in progress of our team all in one place. And we have this invoicing system for our clients' payments and billings. So everything that we can think of to contribute or to build our agency, that's what we do. That's what we did on that particular stage of our being newbie.
Yeah, so from imagine becoming just the two of us catering all of these clients and attending to their needs, it became like a less than 10-person team. We're in catering from onboarding up until task accomplishment. But of course, it is about progress, not perfection. If you will wait for the perfect time always, or the perfect system, and that's when you will launch your small agency, it will take a long time. So it's like a parallel learning. We learn as we go, and just like what he mentioned, we sat down, we check and evaluate our processes, and definitely we automate where needed. So for those aspects, as we cater a lot of brands for social media marketing. So you can imagine every month you provide them with a set of social media assets to use. You deal with them with their business goals and such. So we really need to automate where needed. So for those graphic templates that we could develop one, we did so that it could streamline our process, and we also leverage AI tools in order to fast track our copywriting sessions and processes. So these small things really help us to leverage our strength, upgrade our skills as well, and to make our team also comfortable with the way of working. Especially we are all remotely working during that time. And remember, brands hire because of system and processes of an agency. So if your agency don't have any process and set of systems at all, of course they will be at loss at times. So I think that's the value of having or collaborating with an agency.
Yeah, and another barrier here is, of course, again, this is something new to us. So the barrier here is the learning process and the learning capability. Since we came from being a freelancer, and right now we're thinking of the more important things on the higher level, like hiring process, admin management. Right now we're thinking of the payroll, and also the client acquisition. So all of those things are it makes us overwhelmed to think about those higher level things of the having an agency. But then again, it takes time for us to get used to what we have right now. And part of it, of course, is scalability.
Yes, and hire the right people to help you, the right team, the right motivation, the right values. For those people that could be of help of you, actually, they will not like lessen the income that you will receive. Actually, it will exponentially grow the business because there's a lot of thinking minds within the team. So next one would be focusing on scalability.
Yes.
Since we already have a team, we want to make things sustainable for us. More clients, sustainable and quality clients, of course, for everyone.
Yeah, and also part of the scalability, we've noticed the significant growth on the numbers of clients, and so is the revenue. We've started from six figures annual revenue, and then we were surprised on the couple of years had passed to seven multiple figures annual income in just span of 3 years. And of course, without the help of our team, we cannot say that this is a solo success. But of course, as this is a teamwork.
Yeah, and we could never imagine like being able to derive on that point, because during our, of course, during the time that we haven't been doing a lot of freelancing, of course we have a limited mindset with things online. But yeah, as we focus on scalability, not just growing the business, because profitability is actually just part of the entire journey, but it's actually more on personal development and character development. Just like the first concept that we mentioned to you about jumping into something, sometimes it's not really about profitability 100%. Of course, there is a part of it, but there's also like some sort of journey about finding who you really are in terms of things. So there's a lot of things that we optimize within us, like joining WordCamp.
Yeah, that's when we first heard about WordCamp Asia. We managed to attend the last year's WordCamp in Taipei. So we've met like-minded people there. We've met new friends there. We've attended also some sessions, and we've learned a lot. And yeah, like just any other business owners, we never want to stay stagnant on what we're doing. We want to excel on what we're doing, and we want to make our clients feel like we are seriously taking our business to the next level. So we keep on trying and trying. We keep on exploring, and sometimes you just get surprised on like, for example, looking back, we're not, we don't have any proper monitoring of our revenue, but we're surprised we get to have like seven figures annual revenue, and that's something great, and that's something to celebrate about for us. And yeah, I mean, WordCamp Asia has played a big role to us, that it opened another opportunity to us. I remember we have the business trip in Taipei last year. And of course, we have jobs to still accomplish. We have our laptops, and we hop onto different coffee shops. We've also tried co-working spaces there. I was surprised that most of the young people are late. They keep on working late at night there, and the co-working spaces are really jam-packed. And so I decided, and the idea comes in. So, Monica, mommy, my wife. So, maybe why not we adapt that kind of idea and business model on our local version? So we went back here in the Philippines, since we are also planning to have our physical office. So why not 50%, half of the space will be our office, and half of it is the co-working space. And so the budget is the number one barrier.
Yes,
again.
and it's actually migrating the remote kind of work to a more physical setting, because there's always a need to collaborate, to brainstorm physically. I actually encourage teams to sit beside each other and brainstorm. So that's very important thing, especially in marketing. And then that online digital space transition into a physical setting through our co-working space. And mind you guys, when we joined WordCamp last year, we are with our 4-year-old daughter.
Yes.
So she's with us with every session. That sometimes feels like is motherhood, is parenthood a hurdle or an obstacle for you to grow? Actually, you can take them on. They should see what you are doing. Because it's for them as well, and I believe it will also inspire them, that when they grow up, they push themselves into to becoming who they really are. So that co-working space that we've developed, it has been like 8 months. It is a co-working space in General Trias, Cavite, where we are situated.
Yeah, we opened a Workscape. Workscape is a versatile space wherein we offer co-working space, study room, conference room, private spaces for small discussions, trainings and workshops. So it's really an awesome feeling that we managed to open this, though it's a small space, but then, the feeling of meeting new friends, like-minded people. Like, for example, I also have this duty time, like the mid shift. I make sure that I'm available or I'm present in the space to meet new clients or to meet new walk-ins. And there came a time that I've met new friends, graphic designers, financial advisors. We also met like trainers, coaches, and that's the time that slowly we're transitioning into to building a small community in our local space. And
Yes.
that's where we've started a monthly freelancer meetup in Cavite. So we started to build a small community of freelancers, not just limited to freelancers, there are aspiring freelancers, coaches, financial advisors, not anything formal. We don't have formal programs here. We just sat down. We just purely networking.
Have some coffee.
Have some coffee, pizza. Share some pain points, struggles in life.
Yeah. Because we resonate with our fellow Filipino and international freelancers that the isolation that we feel at home because we don't have time boundaries, like we work for US shift, for Australian shift, and a lot of international time zones, which actually develop some sort of introspection. We enjoy too much of being alone, and this co-working space is not just about generating revenue. It's really more on us connecting with other people too, like being of help with aspiring freelancers, giving value for them. So it's really more about connecting people and skills. So there are other freelancers or aspiring digital agency owners that are looking for maybe an SEO expert in Cavite, because this is based in Cavite. So they come to know an SEO expert there, and they join together in order to make a team. And if you don't know where to find freelancers you easily get lost. So
Yeah.
I think building a strong community is also a part of building ourselves too.
Yes, and apart from having the community, the people on our city learned about our place, and there came a time that they conduct their own trainings, workshops. We also have painting, acrylic painting workshops. We've partnered with Go High Level trainers. There's also financial advisors that they conduct their own meetings there.
Yeah.
We have a small meeting room that can hold up to 10 packs, the most.
And you'll be surprised with a lot of talents in your local community that there is. There are Go High Level trainers. There are also mentors offering soft skills, not just hard skills. There are also like personality development, mental health coaches that does painting, does journaling. So there's a lot of things. And we were actually really surprised with a lot of talents in our local community. And that also, as freelancer, gave us a new perspective about connecting with other people too, because their journey, we are really inspired with them too, in order to keep ourselves to push forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a quick overview of our decade-long journey. We started as a freelancer, going to the entrepreneur space, but then it looks like as easy as it is. But then it's not a walk in a park. I can still remember the blood and sweat, literally. Of course, the capital, the efforts to make it put our ideas into life. So I think
Yeah.
do we have some more?
And
Yeah.
yeah, just like imagine yourself standing on a cliff, or maybe you are right now thinking about another step in your career, in your business. Indeed, you can play it safe and deal without all the stresses, maybe the cuts and the tears that comes with scaling yourself, scaling your business. But one thing is for sure, if we don't jump, our parachute may
Will not
never open. We'll never know the infinite possibilities that that the world can provide us to. So, and indeed, God has something in store for one of us, and it's also our role to discover it.
Yeah, and before we end up the session, would love to quote another verse from the Bible. It's from Proverbs 3:5 to 6. So this is our life verse actually. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean out on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. I'm not preaching here. I'm just sharing some life principles that works for us, and maybe if you try it, it will also work for you. And I would love to encourage everyone to jump. Are we ready to
Now,
jump?
yeah, are you ready to jump? Okay, so I think that ends our
Yeah, yeah.
presentation today.
Um,